Hello learners, welcome to Unit 4 of Integrated Learning. In this unit, we focus on different types of integration and suitable examples. We discuss how to integrate. After completing this unit, you will be able to identify types of integration, use the techniques to integrate learning experiences within one subject and integrating different subjects, design a concept with suitable integration, perform diverse learning activities as per learner's interest, plan a lesson within integrated learning. So what are the various types of integration? So here we have basically three wider categories: within subject areas integration, between subject areas, and beyond subject areas. Means integration with which happens within subject areas are known as intradisciplinary integration. This called intradisciplinary. The integration which takes place between subject areas, it is known as interdisciplinary as well as multidisciplinary. The classification detailing we will see in the next slides. Beyond subject areas, which we call it as transdisciplinary. Integration within one subject area is known as intradisciplinary integration. It is a process of integration where the knowledge and skills of same subject area connected together during the teaching, learning. For example, intradisciplinary in mathematics, chapter 2 of class 7th, fractions and decimals. Chapter 4, simple equations. The knowledge and skills attained, the fractions and decimals, simple equations, are helpful in chapter 8, comparing quantities. More detail in chapter 8 to compute profit loss and their percentages. Interdisciplinary, chapter 4, metals and non-metals. The metals and non-metals have various properties. One of the properties is electrical conductivity of metals, thermal conductivity of metals. In chapter 14 of the same class, chemical effects of electric current. These two concepts are more helpful to understand lightning conductors, where chapter 15 under the same science subject. Here, lightning conductors, which metals are used for lightning conductors, how the charge is getting transferred can be better understand by considering the earlier or previous skills that learned in chapter 4 and chapter 14. In this way, they can build new knowledge and skills in chapter 15. Intradisciplinary, in another words, we can understand the process of combining different concepts of several topics within the same subject during the process of classroom transaction. It means the various competencies that obtained in the different lessons or topics of the same subject be utilized to gain new competency of the new lesson or a concept, which happens between subject areas. Those are interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. An interdisciplinary approach combines the expertise of two or more disciplines to jointly address an area of common concern. For example, here, the manuscripts which written in English or any other language in social science, Bronze Age iron is topic, and the science, metals and non-metals, all they have a single learning outcome on basis of a common learning outcome. If the integration takes, it is known as interdisciplinary. Whereas it is different in multidisciplinary. Means in multidisciplinary, the learning outcomes of different subjects are different for the same theme. The interdisciplinary integration is a process of integrating the interdependent or common knowledge and skills from more than one subject areas during transaction process. The definition of interdisciplinary is something that involves two areas of learning. An example of interdisciplinary is a class studying the New Testament from both the literary and historical point of view. An example of interdisciplinary is the physics knowledge in sports or the sports integration in subjects like physics. And example of interdisciplinary is concepts of science and mathematics are acquired by integrating singing, painting, dancing, sculpturing, etc., or the art integration in subjects like science, mathematics, and languages. The best example here in social science, chapter 4 local events, chapter 5 water of class 7. You can take any other subject which is feasible to integrate. It is not compulsory. You have to take forcefully two or more subjects to integrate in this interdisciplinary. If we are having a science subject of the common learning outcome, winds, storms, and cyclones, chapter 8, then the learning outcome is seen in this social science, as you specified here, the third subject. Now, multidisciplinary approach. What is multidisciplinary approach? A multidisciplinary approach is one in which the same topic is studied from the viewpoint of more than one discipline. Means the integration happens between the subjects, different subjects. The learning outcomes remain distinct. Each subject has its own learning outcomes, but due to some meaningful linkage, they are connected together during the process of transaction. So, example we'll see here. If suppose the common theme is water, in mathematics, the measurement of volume of water connect of its unit in liters and milliliter. Whereas in the subject of art, poster making on seawater, sources of water, puppet show on sources of water. In languages, creative writing on importance of water, dramatization and discussion of water pollution. In subject like science, sources of water, physical and chemical properties, waterborne diseases, water cycle. In history, water disputes, central water tribunal formation. Geography, natural sources of water, different water bodies, location on map. Here, all are connected with water. What is the theme? But each subject has its own learning outcomes on the same theme. Another example we will see here, food. If we are taking, where does it come from? Components of food we will learn in science. In biology, balanced diet, deficiency diseases, preservation of food. In chemistry, test for starch, protein and fats, chemical formulas and structures, preservatives. Now, types of cultivation and farming, landforms, climatic suitability. We learn in geography, in economics, food stock, exports and imports, foreign exchange, food dyes, natural dyes, various art forms. So in this way, all these are connected the food, but the individual subjects goals are different, objectives are different, and their learning outcomes are different. When we are talking about beyond subject areas, which we call transdisciplinary, a process where the students' day-to-day experiences are connected to different subject areas to acquire knowledge and skills. The best example for transdisciplinary is project-based learning. Ways to integrate the curriculum, the three types are by using themes, by using projects, by using individual and small group studies. The best transdisciplinary integration is project-based learning. In the project-based learning, teacher is a mentor. The teacher identifies a problem, or the student may raise a problem or identify a problem in and around. But the problem must have, it is a open-ended. It is a open-ended, and the solution be helpful to the humankind. In the project-based learning, peer assessment, teacher assessment, and even community assessment takes place. In the process, the learner acquires the desired 21st century skills. Talking about integrating with life and current affairs. When a student or a learner connected with the real life experiences, what happening in and around, there are so many incidents happening. If the learner is focused on this to take up a project, it is a best interdisciplinary approach. One of the open-ended problem in front of us is forest fire. It's frequently occurring. Which country was caught forest fire? The learner search near and around worldwide. What are the effects? What are the impact? All these can study and try for a solution. Prevention measures can be suggested from where to collect the data, what will be the preventive measures, what steps it can be incorporated, why the climate imbalance is taking place. So these all leads to a solution. Field and survey and interaction, peer assessment, teacher assessment, parental assessment, community assessment, all these will take place. In turn, they developed 21st century skills. We summarize intradisciplinary, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, and transdisciplinary by taking this simple example. First, I am taking the three chapters in social studies of class 8, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 8. All these three chapters having a common learning outcome: vegetation and wildlife resources, tidal energy which destroys wildlife habitat, rights of forest dwellers, this all connected. So this is intradisciplinary when we are talking about. If suppose we are connecting this knowledge and skills in science, the chapter 7 biosphere reserves, protected areas for conservation, then it becomes interdisciplinary. If we are adding up more and more subjects, then it becomes multidisciplinary on base the same theme. The theme may be protected areas of conservation, yeah, some other rights of forest tribes. If we make a project on all these facts, the project-based learning takes us for the transdisciplinary. I hope we understand well. Thank you. It is the end of Unit 4.